YouTube. You know, it's been a minute. You know, I took a little break. I think the second video of 2024. Be doing an FL Studio tutorial. Alright, you heard? I'm gonna be teaching you how to become an FL Studio god. Alright, just enough to know the basics of this shit. Alright, so bam, let's get straight into it without further ado. So as you can see right here, this is the first thing that you see as you log in. Alright, this is the interface. Now obviously when you first log into the interface, this shit looks intimidating as hell. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of shit on the screen. How to navigate through this shit. And left, you see this? You see this right here? The file. Alright, this is where you're gonna be saving your projects. Alright, your music, whether it's your music, your songs, or your beats, everything. This is where you're gonna be saving this shit. So obviously they're saved. So when you're doing like project, you want to press that. The most important ones you need to know is the import and export. Alright, so import allows you to import different like MIDI files, so that includes like different types of keys and shit and different types of templates. Alright, next we got export. Now this is the most important one as well. Alright, this gives you the settings, the accessibility for your music into different types of files. Alright, so right here we got MP3, so that's the old like original type shit, like the original file, that everything goes out of. And then you have a WAV file, which is a little bit better, which is better than the MP3 file. Alright, so this is where you're gonna export all your shit. Alright, that includes beats and your music. Alright. Okay, so options is where you're gonna find all your different types of settings and shit for your audio and for your like MIDI controls and shit. So obviously audio and your MIDI, that's where you're gonna be plugging in shit, you feel me? So in your audio, this is where you obviously select what type of audio input you want, and what type of drivers you want and shit, all that type of shit. Alright, two things. Alright, we got right here, we got obviously this is the BPM. So this is where you're gonna set your project BPM, whether it's your beats or just like the BPM that you're gonna be rapping on. Alright, this is the record button. Okay, record button. You got the pattern and you got the song. So these two options, right? You got the pattern, so this is gonna play whatever's on your little, what is it called, the fucking the sequencer, whatever. I'm gonna get to it. Alright, and the song option is gonna be what's on here. It's gonna play here. Is where you're gonna be laying out all of your patterns, as I would say. Alright, you're gonna be laying on your patterns right here, and you're gonna be also laying out your vocals. Okay, so right here on the left you have this piano icon, and this is where you're gonna find all your patterns. Alright, this is where you're gonna find all your patterns, and then right here onto this little wave shit, this is where you're gonna find your audio clips. So this includes your beats, your samples, your vocals, all that type of shit. Alright, so this is obviously there's nothing here because I have no audio clips, but let's just say if I did have an audio clip and we dragged it in, it would pop up right here, right? So we're gonna go ahead and delete that. But going back to the piano icon, this is where you have your patterns. Alright, so this is where you're gonna be laying down whether your keynotes and your drums and your snares and all that type of shit. So you basically just click and drag. Alright, now this is the pattern. Alright, this is gonna be laying, this main thing right here is called the playlist. Alright, this is where you're gonna be adding all of your shit. I'm talking drums, I'm talking snares, I'm talking all that type of instrumentals, you feel me? And then you can obviously drag it out. These numbers up here, you see the 1, 2, these are your bars, these are your bar counts. Alright, so you can drag it. So let's say I want to create an 8-bar loop, alright, or a 9-bar loop. We're gonna drag this shit all the way up here, And now you can see it's a 9-bar loop. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. This little icon, this fucking calendar looking shit, is your playlist. So this is all this shit right here. This is where you're gonna, again, your patterns and your vocals. Alright, this is what's obviously, you click this, and then it's gonna bring up, you know, the playlist. Okay, y'all with me? Y'all with me? Okay. Next to that icon, you have the piano. Now this is where you're gonna be laying. You're gonna be like, that's where you're pressing in notes, where you can press in notes and really get in that, you know, that precise, whatchamacallit, note. You feel me? Right? Y'all gotta remember that this is, again, this is all about repetition, y'all. Y'all not gonna get this on the first try. Y'all gotta replay this shit and really engrave this shit in your brain. So we click on the piano roll. Alright, click with me if y'all still watching the tutorial. Again, this is obviously has all your skills. It has all your, well, I have it for the skills and your keys. Alright, it has all the keys, all the notes that you need. And this is again where you lay out your it can be anything, literally anything. It can be your 808s, your hi-hats, your snares, your pianos, your synths. It can be anything, y'all just click and drag, and y'all can keep on going about, you know, creating whatever type of different pattern you want. Alright, now down here y'all see these little shits right here, these little velocity controls. These control the audio of your notes. Alright, so you can drag these bitches up and down however the fuck you want, and you know, they will control how loud and how quiet they are. Simple, yo, simple. Alright, to this is called the channel rack. Alright, now this is where you like the patterns. Alright, so going back to what I was saying on the playlist, so go back to your playlist. Alright, right, you got this playlist. Now let's all put down a pattern. Alright, so you want to click and drag the pattern into the playlist, and this is going to create. Alright, then you want to, let's go back to the channel rack. So again, we're looking at the 3 bars right here. Alright, we're gonna click on it, and then this is all gonna go into the pattern. Alright, into the pattern that you just dragged in. Alright, so this, again, this is where you're gonna be creating the sequences. So in the channel rack, say I want to make a kick pattern. Alright, so let's go right here. Right, we're in the channel rack. I hope y'all following with me. But alright, so say let's just create a simple kick pattern. Alright, so bam, bam, bam. Alright, simple. Look, so you see, look, pay attention. Look, you see how I press play and nothing played? That is because it is playing what's on the song, what's on the playlist arrangement. The song option is gonna play whatever's on the playlist. But see, since we don't have nothing on the playlist, it's not gonna play anything. So this is where you drag in your pattern. Alright, this is where you're dragging your pattern. We're gonna drag the pattern all the way to 9 just because. Then we're gonna go back to the channel rack. Alright, the channel rack where we were, you know, placing down our drums. So let's now, if we click play, it's gonna play the pattern that's on the playlist because it's playing the song. Alright, so boom, let's go back to the piano roll. Alright, so what is that again? We're gonna go back to the piano roll right here, the little piano icon up here. Alright, let's click it. Now when I was telling y'all that this shit is used to create, you know, your melodies and shit, this is used to go up and down the scale, you know, and really lay down melodies. You feel me? I'm talking like chords and all that type of shit. So look, this is what I mean. You can put it up or put it down, any different type of shit. You feel me? That's where you really get, you know, specific with all this type of shit. Really be precise with your, you know, your melody. The song option, and it's gonna play whatever's right here. Alright, we click on the pattern option, and it's gonna play whatever's in here. Okay, y'all with me? Beat. Alright, now in this channel rack, this is where you're gonna be putting in all your pianos, your sounds, basically all your sounds. This includes this shit right here, all these little shits right here, and also your plugins. Now to add those plugins into this channel rack, you're finna wanna come down here into this plus sign, click on it, and this is where you're gonna find all your plugins. All right, so you can literally click any of them and they'll pop up in here. You feel me? We're going over to the mixer. Now this it's a little bit confusing. I ain't gonna cap it, y'all, but let me break it down. All right, you got your master, and this is where all the main vocal is gonna be. And then you got obviously all these other ones. This is where you can track other sounds, and this is where you can track your sounds and really level them and really mix it. This obviously turns off the mixer, so if I turn it back on, you are gonna be able to hear me. All right, simple as fuck. This is gonna control the volume of your vocal or your drums, and this big circle right here controls the panning. So again, controls whether or not you want to have it on your left ear, on your right ear, you want to have it in the middle. Simple. So if I make it all the way over here, y'all gonna hear me on your left. If I make it over here, y'all gonna hear me on your right. Simple. So I'm gonna go back to the channel rack, right? And you see these numbers right here. This correlates with the mixer. You know how on the mixer there's all these different type of numbers starting from 1 to shit, I don't know what, but these correlate with the numbers on the channel rack as well. So as you can see, our kick is routed to number 1. So our right, you see now the kick is routed to whatever's on number 2. And when you, let's just say, when you play the kick and you put the pattern in, right, you see how the thing is popping up. That means that it's right there. You feel me? Type shit. So you see these numbers on the side right here. Basically, these are gonna be it's gonna pop up a bunch of effects that you can put on the vocal. You click these numbers and you can choose any different effect. Talking about EQs, reverb, auto tune, any type of shit. You feel me? You just click these numbers and you can drag it in. All right. This little shit right here is where you're gonna be adding in your mic. Whatever different type of mic you have, you're gonna add it in with this shit. Right now I have the Focusrite, so I'm gonna be adding in input 1. It's obviously already done for me, but you get the gist. All right. Little standout button or whatever. We'll call this the call out button. If you go to the call out button, this is gonna just show your different types just all information about the project file. So as you can see, I spent 24 minutes on this shit. 24 minutes, you know, all this different type of shit. You can name whatever the fuck you want. The channel rack, you see these buttons right here. You have this button right here, which is on the facing that way, I guess. And that's gonna be your volume button, so you can adjust the volume here without, you know, ever going on the mixer. Here next to it, which is the panning button, so this is gonna pan your audio to your left and right ear, whatever you want to say. So that is the on and off button. So this is just whether you want to mute the audio or not. Simple. All right, and that's basically it.